right. Welcome, everyone. We are live on this beautiful Monday. You gotta love Mondays, man. You just got to love Mondays. I was talking to someone yesterday and they were asking me about self concept. Your concept of yourself. You are aware that you exist. That's it right there. You are aware that you exist. You and I are aware that we exist. We know that we are here and that we are human, but that's now what you are aware of being. And what you are aware of being is what you are doing with your life. See, there's three things. You are aware because you say, well, I am. Well, I'm right here. I'm doing this. But then you condition your I amness. What does that mean? It means you identify yourself as being something. I am. Like I just yawned because we were awake late last night. So I am tired. I just conditioned myself to something. And because I have conditioned myself to be it, I must now do it. I must now show the evidence of who I say I am. Right? It's not just for physiological states. You know, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I am bored, I am lonely. It's not just for that. Not just for physiological things. It's for all things that we condition ourselves to be. That's your concept of yourself. The things you hold to be true about yourself. Meaning you are aware of yourself and you are aware of yourself being something, and then you do what you be. I told you guys this on Friday, I believe. You now end up doing what it is you say that you are. That's the only way it can happen. It can't happen any other way. You must always show the contents of your inner self. In other words, you're constantly looking into a mirror. So whose reflection do you think you see in the mirror when you're looking in it? Your own. Period. So how do you change your concept of yourself if there's something you don't like? Now, what are you changing? You're changing what you have conditioned yourself to become. Oh my God, I don't have any confidence. Oh my God, I'm so shy. Oh my God, I'm so... There are many things we can say about ourselves. But you have to become aware that you are it. How else will you know what to change? How else will you know what to change about yourself if you do not become aware of it? What is it to be aware? What does that mean to be aware? It means, oh my God, here I am. Here's what I'm doing. That's the awareness. You're aware right now. Right this moment, you are aware. Well, if I ask you, what are you doing? Oh, I'm listening. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm pouring some tea. I am. But you see, the thing is, most of us don't know what we have conditioned ourselves to become. And this is why sometimes we get stuck there. We say to ourselves, oh my God, I need to change, but I don't know where to begin. We always begin with the thing that's in front of us. So if it is a particular habit that you continually do, oh my God, why does this always happen to me? Oh my God, why do I keep doing the same thing? Because it is who you are. That's why you keep doing the same thing, because it is who you are. It is who you have declared yourself to be. It is who you have identified yourself to be. It is who you have embodied. And once you've embodied it, oh, you're committed. And you will do it. Well, then the process to change is exactly the same thing. Because all you're ever doing is creating a new thing in which to identify yourself of being. So what happens is, now you say, well, I want to change. What do you want to change to? You must become aware. So look at your life. Where are you now and what are you doing? Are you satisfied with where you are and what you're doing? Somebody wrote the other day that they were content with their lives, but they still have desires. I said, dude, life is ever expanding because we are continually being. And being is to do. So if you're being, you will be doing. Thereby, you will have a desire. It is part of the process of being, doing. So you can't blot out the desire. You'd have to cease to be. And we can't stop being because we're immortal. Your body can cease to exist. It sure can. But the spirit cannot. So that means so long as the spirit remains, you will be, and thus you will do. So your desire, whether or not you are content, is irrelevant. There will be a desire. Because there has to be one. Because we can't stop moving. Everything is moving. That is the law of vibration, the third principle. Everything moves. Everything. That is part of your concept that you should grasp. That you're always growing and expanding. I console myself with that. And when I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, this butt, I tell you. I said, well, it is law. I can't stop moving, can I? So there it is. The bigger it gets, the bigger it gets. I'm okay. That's what I tell myself. I'm like, well, I may as well do those squats and enjoy them. That's all you can do. Love it. And that's it. Just love it. What else is there to do? Here's the thing. When you find that you are aware of something that you're doing, do you love it? Now here's the thing. Oh, we have a saying, what? Misery loves company. Isn't that what we say? We do love it, don't we? Oh, you pay attention and you'll watch yourself and you'll see what you're doing. Oh my God, did you hear about this person? No way, did you hear about that person? With this person? We do love it, you know. But why? Because we've conditioned ourselves to love it. And here's the thing. If you can condition yourself to love one thing, you can condition yourself to love another. Why? Because you're only ever conditioning. So get used to the fact that you have the ability to grow, change, and learn, and adapt, apply, become consistently, all the time, all day, every day. You're never stuck in an undesirable situation, even though it may appear that way on the outside. Even though it may appear on the outside that you are somehow stuck. Remember, you are not. Because the third principle tells us everything is moving. Nothing can stand still. Not one thing. Listen, it may move really slow that it looks like it's not moving. Or it may move really fast and you still can't see that it's moving. But either way, it is moving. You and I are always moving, doing something, being something. But remember, I love the way Neville Goddard put it because he always waxed poetic. He said, you may forget who you are. You may forget where you are. But you cannot forget that you are. That's the part right there. You will never forget that you are. Listen, if your memories leave you today, you will look in the mirror and say, who am I? And you will be aware that you've forgotten. You will be aware that you have forgotten. Just like you are aware that you remember. So when you're paying attention to what you are, meaning what thing have you chosen to identify yourself with? You know how some people say, you're not your thoughts? You're the observer of your thoughts? That's what I'm saying to you. Your concept. I am is the concept. It is what you are aware of. You are aware. But then you become aware of what you are. And then you become aware of what you're doing. So remember, to be aware is you're seeing it. You're knowing it. Because you're the one. That's the concept. But what have you conditioned the concept to become? Oh, well, you're not good looking. Oh, you're not smart. Oh, you broke. Oh, you're a loser. Or, I am phenomenal. I just love what I'm doing. And like, my life is perfect. It's perfect for me. Which one of those things are you aware of being? Because the thing that you are aware of being, that's what you will do. There's no way around it. It is law. It's not just gonna happen. It doesn't happen by happenstance. It's not a coincidence. So pay attention to what you are doing on a daily basis. You've got to give that to yourself. Look at how much in a day we look around at people, we look around at situations, and we judge and we complain. You've just identified yourself with the state of complaining. And the state of complaining has within it everything that matches complaining. Everything. And so then you complain, you get more to complain about, and then you complain, why is it happening to me? Because we don't know what we are. We know what we've been told to be, but have you never stopped to ask? We're always constantly looking to the outside of ourselves. The concept is not out there. The concept is casting the shadow out there. Your concept of yourself is casting a shadow. If you've ever seen cartoons on a Saturday morning with Pepe Le Pew, The skunk casts a shadow. Is his odor. That's what he does. Everywhere he walks, all the flowers wilt in his wake. That's what he is. That's the shadow he's casting out there. Because it is what he is. You see, it has a particular signature. I don't know if you've ever been graced with the privilege of smelling a skunk, but Lord have mercy. It will make you cringe is just a nice way, but I digress. It has to show you what it is. This is how we identify it. As within, so without, as above, so below. So your concept, what you are aware of, is casting the shadows out in the world. And what do? Because we have forgotten that it is us who are casting the shadow. We fight the shadow. Because we have forgotten that it is us. We fight the shadow. Instead of observing the shadow and saying, oh snap, I'm casting that shadow. The shadow only changes if you change the concept. That's the only way the shadow changes, which means you've got to go within to observe your behaviors. Observe yourself. You say, what am I doing? That's how we do it. You don't look at the shadow and complain. Oh my God, again, why me? That's not why you look at the shadow. Become aware of the shadow you're casting. Become aware of the shadow you are casting. Because when you become aware of the shadow you're casting, now you can decide, well, I am, and I am aware that I am this thing. I've molded and shaped and identified myself with this thing. Nah, it's not good enough anymore. So then the way to change it is what? The same way you've always done it. Because it's the only way you can do it, is to identify another thing you would like to become. And when you identify it, it will make you feel a particular way. For instance, if you identify yourself with a state of annoyance because you're annoyed that I tell you the same thing every day, well then, start doing and you'll stop being annoyed. Oh my God, Angela tells me the same thing every single day. Yes, but are you doing it? Because if you were doing it, you would recognize something. You would recognize, oh snap, I am making these things change in my life. And then you gain this confidence, this self-assuredness, this security in yourself. And you say, oh my God, I am doing this. And then what did you become aware of? You became aware of yourself and that you are something that you said you wanted to become. And thus you became it, and now you're doing it. That's what you become aware of. So you see, it does not end when you get what you want out of life. You just expand from there. You don't have a choice but to expand. Think about it. When you become aware of the fact that you are, and then you choose something to be, and you become it so that you do it, you're no longer the same. You are no longer the same. You're a little bit bigger than you were before. And I'm not speaking as bigger as in waist. You need bigger pants. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what you have become aware of is now more. And because you've become aware of more, that's the part of you that actually grows. Your awareness expands. Now you're beginning to comprehend what it means when we say my consciousness is expanding. No, what you have become aware of. You are becoming aware of more aspects of the self. That's what you're doing. That's what your concept is. The concept does not remain the same size. It grows. But the concept is, I am. I'm right here. I'm doing this. If you pay attention to yourself, you'll see it and you'll hear it. When you say, oh yeah, oh, what are you doing today? Oh, it's Easter Monday. So people say, well, what are you doing today? I think in Barbados they have picnics, don't they? I know the Easter thing in the park in Queen's Park, where people, they are decked out in their finery. Lord have mercy. The hats, I tell you, the suits, and the creases in the suit. Listen, if you wear pants and your pants don't have a crease that you can cut your finger on, go to the dry cleaners and get a crease in your pants, okay? It's a thing. It really is a thing to be that sharp, but I digress. So what they've done is they know it's Easter Monday. See, they're aware that it is Easter Monday, but Easter Monday has a thing that you do. It has a way of being on Easter Monday. And if you follow it, you will do it. You will do the things that denote Easter Monday, because that is the state of Easter Monday. So now you are aware that you are, and you are aware that, well, I'm going to go to the park for Easter. And I'm going to do these things. But always remember who's doing the things. And it is who you say that you are. And that's what the world sees. So if you say nobody likes me, that shadow of nobody likes me is being cast from inside of you. So if nobody likes you, that means you don't like you. It's an observation. As within, so without. So what is this thing that you are aware of that you don't like about yourself? And I bet you, if you turn over that rock, something will slither out, which would be somebody else's opinion of you, of who they think you should be in comparison to somebody else. You see, all these little critters that crawl out from under these rocks that we're afraid to turn over. Listen, turn over the rock, people. Turn it over and look at it. It is you. So turn it over and look at it. You don't have to be afraid of it. It's just something that you have now become aware of. And so if you don't like that, what would you like to become aware of instead? Because now that is the new thing that will cast the shadow out into the world. So when you become aware of something else, well, you got to learn it, don't you? You got to keep looking at it and say, oh, yes, I'm aware of that. Like I said, it is quite like trying on a new outfit. You ever buy that child something new and they come home and they put it on and they don't want to take it off? They get a new toy, they don't put it down. That's persistence, isn't it? You love it so much you don't want to let it go. Well, the thing that you are now wanting to identify yourself with, that new thing that you want to become aware of, You don't just pick it up for 2 seconds and just throw it back in the corner. No, embody it. To embody it is to put it on, to wear it. And once you have identified yourself with it, now you are it. And that is the new thing that casts the shadow out into the world. Oh my God. And then you've changed your perception of yourself. You have now changed the way you speak and treat yourself. Thereby, others have changed how they respond to you. But if you keep taking it off, ow, it doesn't feel right. Well, just adjust. You know, you go to the tailor and they alter your clothes so they fit you a little better. All right, well, then that's what you do with the thing that you want to become aware of. You say, okay, look, I like this part. Okay, this is the part I like. Well, this is the part I'll keep. And this is the part I'll put on. And this is the part I'll do. And you do it. You put it on every day. That's what you do. Day in and day out. Day in and day out. And that is how you become. You become it by embodying it. You notice there's no force there. You're not forcing yourself to do anything. You just looked at it and said, huh, I like that new attitude. And you saw yourself doing it. And every day you see yourself doing it in your mind's eye. And you just do it over and over again until such time that that's the shadow you now cast. We're only ever broadcasting our concept of ourselves. And the concept of yourself is what you are aware of being. So if you can hear your mother's voice in the back of your head, if you can hear your daddy's voice, if you can hear your teacher, preacher voice, and you identify it, now that's the shadow you cast. But whose shadow is it? It's not your original shadow. It's one you adopted. You picked it up and you tried it on and you said, yes, I believe it. This is true of me. And you ran with it like if it was yours. See? That's what most of us are doing. Yeah, but this person said I was like that. They said I was like this. And they said. But who do you say you are? You are the one in charge of shaping your concept of yourself so that when you shed light upon it and it's projected out into the world to cast a shadow, you better like it. Because that's what you're doing. That's all we're ever doing. Molding and shaping ourselves into something. The light is cast upon it. And does what? Creates a shadow. You know how to create shadow puppets. We all do. We've all done it. That's your concept. The puppet that you make, and you can see it on the ceiling because the light is hitting it. That is your concept of yourself. And how do you change your concept of yourself? Change the shape of how you put your hands. I can't change it for you because those are not my hands. Those are your hands. So you see, whichever way you want to look at it, the hand puppets are you. You are aware that there's light there. You are making your hands do something. See? But the hands are the second part. The first part is you saying, oh my God, I'm totally going to make shadow puppets. That's the second thing you became aware of, not the first. So this is why you will know now what awareness is. Now you will know what your concept of yourself is. It is the shape that you cast. You've molded yourself as that thing, and you're now projecting it out into the world. So the next time you hear, expand your consciousness, become more aware. The next time you hear a phrase like that, you now know what it actually means so that you can apply it correctly. Thereby, you're not led astray. Let us take a brief moment, shall we, to welcome everyone into the space this morning. Twitter, who's here? Driving T is here, and Meloza. Hello, darling. Welcome. Welcome. It is a pleasure and a privilege to have you here on Twitter on this lovely Monday morning. Who's here on YouTube and Facebook? The better man is here. Double A. Jeff, darling. Cynthia. Hey. Sonia. You're the ones who've made yourselves known in the chat. So welcome, YouTube and Facebook. Yes, welcome, welcome. Now, who is here? Listen, I see Delight is in this chat. She's got the chat blowed up with notes. Whew, I'm loving you. Who's here on Fanbase this morning? Marquise. I was just saying to myself, Marquise, I haven't seen Marquise in forever. Marquise must have done that, forgotten about me. Have I done something?
Never ever.
Like, seriously, I've been saying that. It's good to see you, Marquise.
Romans to and fro.
Oh, Marquise, I've missed you. Yes. Oh, let's see who's here this morning. Belinda is here. Miss Deborah is here. Terrell Happy is in the house. Zesty. Miss Boricua is here. Ali, hook a brother up. KZ, Flo Smiles, Afternoon Delight, and Oracle Treehouse. Thank you all for being here this morning on Fanbase and spending time with each other. Thank you. Many faces, one consciousness. Thank you all for being here. You see, it is a good thing. We're all aware of where we are right now. But who's aware of where you are? You answer that question. I am. That's your concept. I am. You see, this is why they can tell you that I am is the most powerful phrase in the world. Because the thing you say after that is the thing you have molded and shaped yourself into, and now you've thrown it into the world. That is why I am is the most powerful phrase, because it is the thing that you mold and shape yourself into being. That is what it is. Does this make sense to you today? Because you've got to get a hold of it so that you will stop saying crazy things like, oh my God, the universe is teaching me something. The universe isn't teaching anything. Cause and effect. Your life is unfolding by way of the concept you say you are. This is why we are always seeing the contents of our own mind. You can't escape it. It is law. So don't be afraid of it. Align. Align? Yes. Recognize the fact that you are. And then choose what you want to become. And mold yourself so that you can say, ooh, I am that. I am. Mold and shape yourself into your most desirable. Listen, we go to the gym and we sculpt our bodies. We go to the gym and we sculpt our bodies like Fergie Ferg. I've been working on my fitness. And that's what we go and we do. But ask yourself, because here's another analogy for you about your concept of yourself. We go to the gym and we mold and sculpt our bodies so that when we put those jeans on or those leggings on, you know the ones I'm talking about from Amazon, we put those on, or the muscle shirts on when somebody says which way to the beach, and you can show them with biceps, right? See the shadow you've put into the world, so that they your body and they go, ooh, you body be banging, right? See what you molded and shaped your form into being. Now, what are you molding and shaping the invisible into being? Are you molding and shaping your invisible? Because I cannot see your concept other than what you show me from the shadow you cast. You know, you ask yourself, oh my God, you must spend all day at the gym. How would you know to say that? Because their body is the evidence. As within, so without. As above, so below. Remember, above is within, below is without. That's how you'll know. You see, we are always seeing the evidence of our inner selves. Always. The moment you say, oh my God, like you spend all day at the gym, listen, make more time leg day than just upper body day. That's what we can say. Only because of what you're looking at, shadow they cast. So your attitude is exactly the same thing. What have you spent time perfecting in your attitude? Is it the complainer? Is it the optimist? Is it the pessimist? What have you spent your time molding and shaping yourself into? The only way you will know is based upon the evidence of what is reflected back. Concept of self. So become aware today, my beautiful friends, of what you are doing. Don't walk blindly. Eyes wide shut, yeah? No. Pay attention. Because then you will begin to notice what you're listening to, what voice you're hearing. Is it your mommy? Is it your daddy? Is it your neighbor? Is it your teacher? Whose voice are you listening to? Listen, it better be yours. Reason being, the thing that you are aware of in your head most, well, then that's you saying, this is who I am. And is it what you want to be? Is it? It isn't. Well, then, the same way we can mold and shape our bodies. How do you shape your body? You go to the gym and you do a certain exercise for a certain length of time. And you know, we're so fancy. We say, oh, look, muscle memory. And then you'll recognize you've got to up the ante because you keep doing that thing the same way every time. Your body says, this is easy. I know how to do this. So you now want to increase the weight and increase the amount of time. Why? So you can keep building. So you see, that's the true explanation of resistance. You are increasing either the weight or the repetition of something. So now that you comprehend what it is to go to the gym and mold and sculpt your body, let's use the law of correspondence. You see, below, that's how you go to the gym. So what's above? You have a particular thought. How many times are you having that thought in the day? And with how much intensity are you having that thought? Now that you see what we're doing, the same thing you do with the muscles in your body is the same thing you do with your awareness. You continually practice something that you are aware of, a particular behavior, a particular thing you say to yourself. You keep practicing it over and over and over again. Until what? Man, you are shaped like it. That's what you're doing. The same way you do it at the gym is the same way you do it with your thoughts and what you are aware of. Same way. And the intensity, meaning you increase the weight, the intensity would be how much do you love that thing or how much do you hate that thing? See what you're doing? That's what we do day in and day out. Day in and day out. And we think, listen, when the scripture tells you that God is not mocked, do you know what that means? It means, you see that time you spend practicing and molding and shaping your concept with some kind of intensity of emotion? Can't stand you. Oh my God, I just love you so much. See the intensity? You're molding and shaping yourself there. You have to become it. So you can't pretend. You can't hide it. God is not mocked. Who is God? You. So the thing that you think you're doing in secret mentally, listen, that's that saying in Barbados. You can hide and buy land, but you can't hide and work it. You can sit and think about all the things you want to think about in that corner, but you will give account for it. Why? Because it is the shadow you will cast in the world for everybody to see. So if you sit there and you think that, oh my God, I'm no good. Yeah, go out into the world. You think you're hiding that? No. You behave as if you're no good because you've poured yourself into this form of no good. Huh? See? Can't fool yourself, honey. Can't fool yourself. So you see those inner thoughts that you persistently have all day, every day, with that emotion behind it? Oh yeah. What is that? That's your concept that you're molding and shaping of yourself. And it's interesting that the image came into my mind and I had to say it. Pouring. You know how you do it with gold or whatever shape you're making? You have this mold. And now you have this thing that has no form. And you're going to pour it in a form so that the thing becomes the form. So you see, I am, is formless, shapeless. It just is. And you pour it into a shape of, I'm happy, I am angry, I am sad, I am bored, I am lonely, I am rich, I'm healthy. You're pouring it into a shape. That thing, that shape that you just poured it into has a function, meaning it's going to express itself. What do you do with a vase? Well, you put flowers in them. What do you do with a pitcher or an urn? You fill it with something. It has a function. So you've got to see the function of this thing to know what you've poured yourself into becoming. Because you are formless and shapeless. That's why Neville Goddard talked about liquid gold light, and then you fuse with it. All these things. But that's another day. So we are constantly molding and shaping ourselves. And that's what a state is. A state. It's like a vase. You pour yourself into it, or an urn. You pour yourself into it, and it has a way of now behaving. It has a function. That state has a function, and you now have to walk and behave according to the function of that state you just poured yourself into. So then when you stop and you say things like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Why is my life this way? Because of the state you have poured yourself into. Oh my God, I just saw the guy from Terminator, you know, the robot, you know, she cut his arm off and he just was into this puddle of like mercury or something, and then he took shape again. That's what we are, formless and shapeless. And then we pour ourselves into a form. And then we act according to the form that we've poured ourselves into. But the beauty is, you can remove yourself from a form and put it into another form. It's called changing states. And here's how you do it. What would it be like if I were rich? What would it be like if I were healthy? And then you start to play around with that and you get a sense of what that shape would be. Well, that shape would be, if I were healthy, I'd be able to run up and down the stairs. Don't run up and down stairs because you could fall up or down the stairs. Hello, take the stairs, hold the rail and climb and enjoy the climb. Yes, that's how we do things. Now you could say, ooh, I can walk down the block. I can run to the mailbox if I need to. Oh, this feels nice. I love the state of health. Let me pour myself into that state. By doing what? Seeing yourself doing it. Watching, and because remember, you're in the mirror. You have mirror neurons. And as a dancer in the mirror, you're watching yourself do the action. You're not watching somebody else do it. You are watching yourself perform the task and how it feels to you. And that's just what you keep doing in your mind's eye. And then once you have embodied that state, poured yourself into it, now you have to act as a person who is healthy, meaning you have more energy, your skin is vibrant, your hair is vibrant, your eyes light up, and people can't help but say, oh my God, what are you doing, girl? You look great. Are you on a new diet? Look at your body. See, you embody the state of health. Now you have to behave as someone who is healthy. But you see, sometimes what we try to do, because we're human, right? We look at the state of health on the outside because we've forgotten that we are the ones casting the shadow. We look at the outside and we try and chisel ourselves into that shape. Well, that's painful, isn't it? Do the easy way. Enter into the mind's eye, your imagination, and become it there. And then when you cast the shadow, you don't have a choice but to do it on the outside. But you're not doing random things. You're doing things in the only way they can be done, according to the shape you've just poured yourself into, the state you just embodied. So anywho, don't let me keep y'all, because I know it's a holiday for some of them. Listen, I didn't even know, but all I know is I'm just excited. How could you not be? But anyway, how could you not be excited to know that before you were aware of this thought that said, you can't change, you're stuck the way you are. This is your lot in life. This is the hand you were dealt. You might as well learn to play it. But some crazy lady came along and said to you, that's not true. You can mold and shape your life. You're not at the mercy of anybody. And you sat there and listened because you thought she was nuts. But a funny thing happened. You said, let me see if I can prove this heifer wrong. And you started to test it out for yourself. And then all of a sudden you said, oh my God. Well, then I must be crazy too, because I did what she suggested by way that the law works. And I changed. But that must be a fluke or a coincidence. So let me do it again. And you did it again. And you recognize, well, you know what? Third time is a charm. Let me try it again. Maybe she is nuts. Maybe I'm just bonkers too. And you tried it again for the third time, and all of a sudden you have to come to the conclusion that, wait a minute, I did just change my life, didn't I? Fancy that. And once you change it, honey, you don't want to go back, because you see how good it feels to know that you've changed. And that is what you want. You don't want to stay the same. No, you don't. See? That's okay. We can be nuts together. Walnuts, pecans, you listen, Brazil nuts, you can be any kind of nuts you want to be, honey. But that doesn't mean the law doesn't work if you think you're nuts. But I digress. But you get what I'm saying to you. So this morning, as you hear the bowl, I don't know if you'll get bird song. I don't know, because I got them in the closet. But when you hear the bowl this morning, just sit there and recognize, wait, I I am. And I become aware of something. Yes, I am. I am. I am whatever I mold and shape myself into being. Now, what do I want to be? Sit there and allow, if you're driving, just pay attention. The road is your business. You can always come back later and test out the exercise for yourself. Safety first. Anywho, after the bowl this morning, just simply allow yourself to recognize that, wait, I am. I am. What are you doing? I am hearing the bowl. Who's hearing the bowl? I am. You are aware of the sound of the bowl. See? Awareness. Concept of self. That's all I want to tell you this lovely morning. But let's not just be hearers of the word. Let us be doers of the word. And let us do it and do it and do it well. Because it is in the practice that we, it's the practice. It is the practice that is the beautiful part. Huh? Practice isn't there to torment you. Practice is there to show you what you're doing and where you need to tweak it a little bit. See? See how beautiful it is to learn and to practice and to become. Anywho, let me get this bowl out, y'all. Let me get the bowl. And remember, I'm here. And you can always slide into my DMs. Let me do this and go like this. Now, let me turn it this way so that everybody can. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2. Symmetric and Bob, hey. Y'all are going to have to catch the replay. And listen, it was fun today. But thank you for being here on Twitter with me today and spending time with the rest of us, YouTube and Facebook and fan base. Thank you. Thank you all. Oh, Symmetric, Driving T, and Bob. I will see you tonight, 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for the Neville Goddard bedtime lecture, if you're awake. I will do my best to read in the most serene of fashions so that you can fall asleep beautifully. But you know how we get. We get all a little bit fired up, don't we? Because we're so excited. But I look forward to seeing you tonight. Much love, Twitter. Much love, YouTube and Facebook and fan base. Twitter is closed. Let's get that water ready. YouTube, Facebook, Cynthia. You have a great day too. And remember, if you're doing the Barbados trip, slide into my DMs ASAP, and I will go with that live stream today. And I will send you the information. So let me know. Cynthia double A, the better man, Jeff, Anot, I see you. Enjoy your beautiful day, and you know I'll see you tonight. And if not, I just finished the final edit to the proof, and I'm gonna go see my guy today and start printing. So if you haven't pre-ordered your Hermetic Oracle cards yet, what you waiting for? I'll see you tonight.